An employee of the Echols County Sheriff's Office accused of using traffic cameras to stalk someone.
The Georgia Bureau of Investigation says she misused flock camera data, which captures vehicle and license plates. Anna Altobella is charged with misusing that data and stalking. ECSO says she was working as a secretary at the sheriff's office when she accessed the flock account for non-law enforcement purposes, searching for the info on two people she knew. Flock says in today's world, cameras are unavoidable, but Flock can find out who uses the data they track.
There's already cameras everywhere. The difference with Flock is we actually create an auditable system that you know exactly how it's being used and how it's not being used. And if it ever is going against that, like in this scenario, there's a trail there that can prove it and show that somebody was using this to break the law.
There are currently 2 flock cameras being used in Echols County. That's according to the sheriff. GBI says more charges may be on the way.
Welcome back, fightflock.com. Today's video, we're going to discuss the news feed you just watched there. Case out of South Georgia. Lady's name was Anna Altobella. She was here it says here, she was a secretary for the Echols County Georgia Sheriff's Department. So that's far South Georgia near Valdosta, Georgia. So again, misusing the Flock database. We've heard many cases here recently. I believe here in my local area, we had 3-4 in the last couple of months of police officers and local sheriffs misusing the Flock database for personal use, right? Basically, they're tracking folks basically without the department's knowledge. It's basically not department business, it's personal business. Probably stalking folks, basically, right? To put it bluntly, probably boyfriends, girlfriends, ex-husbands, ex-wives, that type of thing. So this case, this lady, 33 years old, she was just a secretary. It says here, just a secretary, not even a police officer or a sheriff's deputy. So now we got everybody entering, basically using these databases for their own personal use. Next thing you know, we'll have the janitor hacking into the Flock system and tracking people down, right? So where does it end, right? So this is the problem. There's no security in these things. Basically, we can't even trust police officers, let alone the secretary of the sheriff's department, right? So that's a big problem. In fact, we have we have to trust these folks, right? That they're not going to do the wrong thing, right? Well, that's not working out too good. Okay, let me tell you that right now. Trusting folks, human behavior is unfortunately can't be trusted. Okay, and my question is, why does a secretary have access to even a login on this Flock database, right? Surely she got that login from somebody, right? Surely she's not given a login for that database. That should be a more secure setup than that. We really need to be going after the person that gave her a login to that Flock database, right? That's really my question, right? So she's got a bunch of charges. It says here she's looks like she got stalking charges, violation of oath, basically misuse of Flock database. There's several charges here. So basically, she's going down because someone was a whistleblower, right? This is the thing, right? We had to depend on whistleblowers. If it wasn't for the whistleblowers, we would never know about any of these Flock database mishaps, right? So basically, we're relying on whistleblowers. Somebody snitched or told on them, and the problem is it's probably way greater than we know, right? If we're hearing about 1 a week or 2 a week here and there around the country of these Flock database misuses, so to speak, then we know there's way more than that, right? It's way more than that. Just do the math. Basically, chances are it's way higher than that. We just don't know about it because no one's told or no one has been a whistleblower. So this is the problem with this. And again, Flock spokesman, he put out a statement. You saw that in the video. His name is Josh Thomas. He was a spokesperson here. So he's saying that, we have audit trails and blah, blah, blah. And, we're doing the right thing and whatever. And okay, yeah, there's an audit trail. Yeah, only if someone has basically the guts to stand up and whistleblow, right? And tell us that it was misused. The flock database system was misused. If it wasn't for the whistleblowers, no one would ever know about this. We'd never know to look at the audit trail, right? So that's the thing. That's really the catch-22 on this whole thing is flock knows this, the police know this, Sheriff's Department knows this, right? All these agencies, law enforcement agencies know this. So my thinking is really there needs to be rules set up on this whole flock database set going forward. I think, maybe a sergeant, I don't know if sergeant's even high enough rank, maybe lieutenant, captain, and higher should only be able to access the flock database. There needs to be way more restrictions on this because obviously we've seen over the many months here recently, all over the country, basically the flock database being misused for personal use by a lot of these police officers, especially the street cops, lower ranking folks, sheriff deputies, and whatnot. Now we have a secretary apparently misusing it too. So God knows where's that going to end, right? Like I say, this is really getting out of hand. It's like a wild west of misuse of the flock database, right? So I'm basically calling for our elected officials, our local sheriffs, our local police chiefs to come up with some stronger rules on this. If you work for a company in a factory and you're a worker in a factory and you're not given a login to your payroll database to give yourself more hours or more of a pay raise or something like that, right? Only a supervisor would have that login information, right? So to me, this is ludicrous that a secretary would be able to obtain a login for the flock database, right? So why if you're working in a factory, you wouldn't even have that access? Why would a police force or sheriff's department have any different rules in that, right? It doesn't make any sense to me when you think of it logically, right? Again, this is really out of control, and flock, basically by itself is unconstitutional, violation of our Fourth Amendment rights as Americans, legal search without a warrant. So we're still fighting that part, right? We have a ways to go on that, but at least for now, bare minimum, they can make some tougher rules for these, for these departments as far as the login goes. So not just anybody can access the database and just do what they want. And obviously, it's these folks are stalking probably ex-boyfriends, ex-girlfriends, ex-lovers, husbands, wives, whatever, right? Obviously, it's probably 95% of that is crimes of passion kind of thing. But this has to stop, right? And this is getting really out of hand, and I'm really frustrated, and I hope you are too. But please subscribe, like this video. I hope this was informative to you, and stay tuned for some more flock videos going forward. And I do appreciate all my subscribers. Thank you very much.